Hi, Patrick Phillip here at Effective Martial Arts HQ. In this lesson, how to sprawl. Alright, so in this video, we're going to cover everything you need to know to be able to do a solid sprawl. So, quick overview first. We're going to look at, for a beginner variation, the two-step sprawl, which is also tactically sound. Going to the knees first, and then to the hip, and then popping up at an angle. We're going to try to do that for all our sprawls. We want to be able to do that in one motion as well if the shot is more aggressive. Going down here, hip on the side, and then popping up at an angle. Obviously, we want to be able to do that on both sides over here. And we also want to be able to do it with one hand posting so we can maintain head control, which is going to be one of the key features of a successful sprawl. If we can maintain head control, so stuffing the head of the attacker so that we can go back on up to our feet and to our base. From which point, we're going to also explore our follow-up attacks, so going back on the offense. So make sure you watch this video till the end to know how to follow your defensive movement of the sprawl with a variety of offensive movements as well, which is a principle in general in all aspects of martial arts, striking, wrestling, or grappling, that you always want to follow up any defensive movements with an offensive movement of your own. If you stay on the defensive, you're going to be in trouble sooner or later. So, if you clicked on this video, you no doubt understand the importance of wrestling defense, and the sprawl is probably by far the most common wrestling defensive movement that you need to know. Now, there are others. There are earlier lines of defense to a sprawl, and there are movements you can do after as well. So be sure to check out our How to Fall video. We cover exactly what to do when your sprawl does not work, and there's a multitude of techniques that you can practice solo, even without a partner. As well as another prerequisite for this lesson will be the basic how to shoot video, or for wrestling offense, how to move like a wrestler. So this is going to cover the basic level change and penetration step. So being able to be comfortable in the wrestling stance like so. So we explore that in detail in that other video, going for attacks as well. There's a variety of drills that we explore. You want to be comfortable with that first. One, because every sprawl will start with a level change. And two, you want to be cognizant of what are the attacks that are coming at you. You also want to be able to execute those attacks so that you can compete in the wrestling range and you can kind of pose a threat to your opponents as well. Also, in terms of prerequisites, so being able to go down, wrestling stance, penetration step, you also want to have a certain level of athleticism to be able to execute those techniques. So the wrestling range is quite demanding in terms of physical abilities, and there's a certain amount of movements that you need to be able to do. So the first one is the push-up. You need to be able to do a basic push-up at the very least on the knees, strong core, going down over here, and having the upper body strength to go all the way down and up. Ideally, being able to do it on your hands so that you can comfortably push off the ground. So having that upper body strength to maintain your position on the ground. The other basic fitness movement that you need to be able to do to be able to sprawl effectively is the double leg mountain climber. So going here from both hands on the ground to here, feet underneath your hips and knees in contact with the elbows. So basically like a frog jump position. You want to be able to go from here to plank, back here. So moving both legs at the same time and bringing them back. This is going to be foundational to be able to do an effective sprawl. So you want to drill that if you're not yet comfortable with that already. The other basic fitness movement that you need to know is doing this same thing on one hand. So only one hand to post. And again, two legs coming back, like so. Very important. You don't want to be doing one leg at a time. Here, that looks quite unathletic. So two legs here, and either leg, either hand. Here. And the last movement from this position, being able to get up, and ideally having a little bit of explosive power in the legs for frog jumps. Here. Okay, so being able to pop up from the ground. So when you put all that together, that's basically all the muscle groups involved in a sprawl. Now there are subtleties to the sprawl as well. So let's look at the sprawl in more detail, starting from basic principles. So it's important to understand what we're doing with the basic sprawl. This is a wrestling defensive movement. What we're trying to do is to avoid going to the ground. Now any wrestling attack, it's always the same principle, is going to be an attempt to put our center of mass outside of our base on the ground. When that happens, we're likely to fall. And then there's a series of other movements we can do from there. The sprawl is going to help prevent that. So when my center of mass starts getting pushed, typically we're going to do the sprawl when the person connects the shoulder to our hips here. And they start getting control on our upper leg or our hips by association. You can prevent that, and you want to prevent that definitely. So when a person comes in, you can block with a posting arm or forearm here and reset your base to protect your legs so they can't access them. You can post with your hands, you can deflect the energy, you can dig an underhook and pull them up, you can get a crossface and pull them up. So that's our first lines of wrestling defense. You want to be comfortable with that, you want to drill that solo as well. But the sprawl is going to happen when they get past that. That's going to happen if you're dealing with people that have substantial amount of skill. You want to then, they get control of your hips, prevent the fact of having your center of mass outside of your base. So maybe they're controlling your hips, but if they don't have sufficient amount of control of your legs, you can kick your legs back and reset your base. That's what you're doing with a sprawl. By having your feet over here, you now have a base in the back and your center of mass is still above it. If you didn't move your feet, your center of mass will go out and you fall. So that way you stay in the top position and now you have some level of control on top, from which point they can still attack you, but you can possibly get into an offensive position as well for the wrestling range. Now, again, going from the most basic variation to more advanced variation with key details for each. So first one, the two-step sprawl. This is going to be great for if you're not yet that athletic. It's an easy way to transition into the sprawl. So we're here in the fighting stance. Maybe we're punching, we're blocking, we're attacking, we're managing distance. The person goes in for a wrestling attack. They change their level. Immediately when they go down, we want to go down as well. So we're on a good position to counter their pressure from here. But let's say we were a bit late and they get under us. That's going to happen. From here, we want to put our hands on the person. And if you're drilling solo, you're simply going to put your hands on the ground. From there, you want to protect your legs, so you're going to kick back here and land on both knees. At this point, the person might continue attacking you, or they might not. They might retreat. So what happens if you overreact, you might be vulnerable. So let's say you go all the way down, but then the person is back on their feet. Now you're vulnerable to all kinds of attacks to your upper body, striking or grappling based. So from here, you can manage the threat. If they keep on attacking, you're going to go hips down. If they retreat, you can comfortably get up as well. So two-step sprawl, very simple. You're in a fighting stance, lower your level to a wrestling stance, hands on the ground, knees on the ground, and then one hip on the ground. Common mistake as well for the sprawl is people go down with the chest too close to the ground. You want to have your chest high and your head high here. Ideally, live toes is generally better because you can then push off the ground and go back on the offense to get back to your feet. That being said, if the pressure is very strong, maybe you want to have dead toes here so that you can just slide back and not get picked up back on your feet if the person is attacking you. So here, knees, hip, head remains high, arms are relatively straight, and from there we're going to get up, not straight here where the person can still attack us, but we're going to take the habit of getting up in a circular motion over here. Remember, bringing both legs back under here, our hips, so we can comfortably get up in an athletic way. From there, drilling our counter offense, striking or grappling based. We're going to get into that in a moment in more detail. A little bit more advanced variation, the straight sprawl, when the person is really decisively coming in and we really need to get to the ground and block them with our hips. So here, the pressure is good. It's a definitive shot. We don't need to go to the knees first. We want to do a full sprawl. So again, hands, and then we're going to kick both legs back and land on one hip here. Ideally, we want to be facing the head. So if the person's head is here, we want to be like so. If the person's head is on this side, we want to be facing the head. And from there, same get up, getting up at an angle, facing the person. Okay, again, a little bit faster. We want to be able to drill that for reps quickly. Here, fighting stance, wrestling stance, sprawl, and get up. Other side, fighting stance, sprawl. Landing on one hip and getting up. A little bit more advanced variation as well is being able to do it on one hand. And the reason you want to be able to do that is that you want to picture holding the attacker's head down. When the person is attacking you with a wrestling attack, that's a principle of posture. They're strong in this position when their head is up. They can go through here, they can take you down, they can do a number of attacks, go behind you. We explore that in more detail in the how to shoot video, and we will more in detail with partner videos as well. But if you can hold their head down, their attack is pretty much stopped in its tracks. So if you can post on one hand, which would be ideally on their back if the person is here, but when you're drilling solo, you go to the ground here and have the other hand ready to push the head down like so. Again, maintaining head high, chest high, and we're imagining that we're stuffing the head like so. Again, getting up at an angle, at which point you can go for striking, or you can also do a variety of grappling attacks from there. We're not going to get into much detail for what these are because it's hard to do solo, but keep in mind that if you are here, maybe the head is here, you could go for a front headlock, so controlling the chin, controlling the arm, and maybe you go for a guillotine choke, or maybe you do other stuff from the front headlock. There's a variety of attacks you can do from there. We will explore in more detail. The other thing you can do from here, if you can get behind, maybe you're controlling the head, you're controlling the arm, you can get behind the person here, and now you're behind them and you're on top. From there, you can wrestle from there. You can try to bring him down to the ground, you can get on top, pass the guard, you can do a variety of takedowns, back takes, there's different things you can do from there. It's good to picture that when you're drilling your sprawl, going back on the offense. So here, stuffing the head, and maybe getting behind, maybe getting for an attack here, digging some hooks, going for a choke, going for a guillotine. But a very more simple counter to a sprawl will be to disengage and or go back on the striking offense. So here, and then disengage, striking, or disengage away. So if you want to just break the interaction, depending on the situation and the person you're facing. So again, 3 variations from most beginner to more advanced. Basic sprawl, level change, 2 hands, knees, hips, get back up, 2-step, single step sprawl, so straight sprawl, going here, boom, down, and then back up. If you can do it with one hand, that's good too, like so, stuffing the head, and get back up, counter offense. Again, doing that on both sides is going to be important as well. Like so, here, stuffing the head, boom. The other thing as well, from either stance, you want to be able to face either direction. So if the head is on the inside, I want to be facing the head as I do the sprawl. Even if I have that same leg in front, and now the head is on the outside, I want to stop the head and go on this side now. So this one is, we call the side sprawl, and you're kind of doing a 90-degree turn as you're sprawling. So this leg is here, it's going to go straight back, and this leg is going to go this way. And when both happen at the same time, posting here, stuffing the head here, like so. We did a 90-degree turn as we got down, and from there, same follow-ups, grappling base, front headlock, or disengage, back to striking, or disengage completely. Okay? Other leg in front, same thing. The head is here, stop the head, I go this way. So now both feet are moving away. Here, and again, getting up at an angle. I have this leg in front, but now the head is on this side, here. So this foot goes back, this foot goes here, side sprawl. Disengage, counter. And that's about it, guys. The basic sprawl and how to practice it realistically, really imagining what we're doing with an offensive partner. You definitely want to couple that with your wrestling offense. You want to practice your shots, so check out that video if you haven't already. You also want to practice the variety of ways that you can fall in the eventuality that your sprawl didn't work. So make sure to check out that video as well. And as an effective martial artist, you definitely want to practice your solo drills in all ranges. So striking and grappling as well, on top of your basic wrestling. This will give you a complete martial arts skill set for MMA or self-defense for hand-to-hand combat. You want to be comfortable in any eventuality that can happen with another human being. Okay, so that's what effective martial arts is all about. One curriculum, one structured curriculum for striking, wrestling, and grappling. So once again, if you haven't already, if you're new to this channel, definitely subscribe right now. We plan to release a lot more content. We're just wrapping up our white belt curriculum basics with these videos, and we're gonna get into more exciting partner applications very soon. Starting with principles first, really understanding how to practice most effectively with a partner, not just ripping your faces off or really maintaining safety when you're practicing with a partner, and doing so intelligently so you can really develop some real skills, not only drilling techniques, but applying appropriate amounts of resistance so you really learn how to problem solve in real time, and that's really what martial arts is all about. So we learned a lot over the years teaching hundreds of students in our school, and we're doing our best to document that information on this channel. So real pleasure sharing this information with you guys. I hope you will practice this well, and this will take your shadow wrestling to a new level. Let us know in the comments if you appreciated any specific part of this video. If you have any questions, comment below. Subscribe if you have not already, and click the like button. This video will appear in your liked videos. You can access it there. You're also going to be suggested more similar content that you might enjoy. And yeah, till next time, Patrick Fulop, signing off here at Effective Martial Arts HQ in Pointe-Claire, West Island of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Thank you very much for watching. Practice well.